Good morning. Who is that? Shirley Ann. Hi, Salima. Hi, Kiera. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning, Erin. Good morning, Emmanuel. Who else is that? Good morning, Tyquill. How are you guys doing? I'm going to share my screen with you. Give me 1 second. All right. Welcome back from our 4-day weekend. Okay. Awesome. So I guess our question for today for our community meeting is just going to be, how was your 4-day weekend? What did you guys wind up doing? Did anybody do anything? Was it more relaxing? Did you travel at all? Did you just stay at home?
Swallow the better one than this, bro. This is horrible.
Emmanuel, I could hear you.
Oh, my fault.
Oh, no, it's okay. What did you do for your weekend?
No, I ain't really do nothing for real.
Did you just like relax kind of?
Yeah.
Nice. That's something. Did anybody go to any Thanksgivings, or you just like stayed at your house basically? I know it's Monday morning. It's kind of like rainy. It's a little bit, you know, gross out. But remember, you could go in the chat too. What did I do on my 4-day weekend? I went to my mom's house because it was her birthday. So I spent some time with her. And then I had like a staycation. I stayed at a hotel for 2 nights. I picked like a fancy one that has like, big screen TV, bathtub, view of the city, all that stuff. And I just wound up staying there and eating good food, went on a few walks. It was really, really relaxing. Tyquil said he went to his uncle's house for Thanksgiving. Okay. How about anybody else? Did anybody eat any good food, or was it different because of COVID? Like, did you find that people were not celebrating or cooking as much? What do you think? Our Thanksgiving was much smaller this year, like with the food and stuff. Like, usually it's like very big. And this year it was just like, I didn't even eat that much because I was just like, not as good this year. Anybody else have anything they did? Did anybody work, like put in extra hours at work since you were off all that time? Oh, you guys are sleepy today. Where's all the responses in the chat? All right, maybe people are not fully with us, but we will find out because we're going to be reading our part 1 and 2 of Persepolis today. We're going to be doing some reading guide questions and basically discussing the graphic novel. Hi, Quinche. It's nice to see you. We're just talking about what people did for their 4-day weekend. A few announcements for everybody before we start class. I'll put them on my screen. Progress report number 1, grades are due today. So some of you are because some of you are probably like, what grades? Like, we didn't even have any assignments. The term just started. So basically, we're going to base progress report 1 on your classwork so far and your attendance and your participation. So for my class, for this class, I had asked you guys to do something on Summit. We'll go over it in a minute. And then today we're going to be reading and doing some questions. All of those things will count in this progress report grade for progress report number 1. Okay, and just so you know, all of your teachers are submitting those grades by 3 p.m. today. So if you had any assignments that teachers asked you to do, that will be in the first progress report. And then we have an assembly. So we have that assembly where everybody's going to be getting money for their grades. That will be on Friday coming up. And we're trying to change it where you don't get Amazon gift cards, you get like cash or like Cash App credit or something. So that will hopefully happen. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about progress reports, grades, dates, anything like that? Okay. We're going to take like a 2-minute little switch. We're going to start at 9, or let's say like 3-minute switch, 9:14. I'm going to take attendance. And while I'm taking attendance, can everybody please get up the, hey Isabel.
Good morning.
Can everybody please get up your Persepolis copy? So go to Summit. Everybody go to Summit. Go to year on the side, right? English 2. I only got one request for feedback on this. So that shows me that I don't know if people did it over break, but we'll talk about it. So just bring up Persepolis, the book. Make sure you have this on your screen while I take attendance. Good morning, Kanaya. Here, Kunche. Salima was in here, right? And Shani, Kunche. Okay, great. Not missing anybody, I don't think, so far. Cool. I don't have anything from you, Shirley Ann. Shirley Ann, did you register for my class in Summit? Let me see if I have you on my, oh, somebody, I had to. So you're just getting that Persepolis book up, and Shirley Ann, I'm seeing what happened. So you should press refresh, Shirley Ann, and you should have it now because I have you on here. It's English 2, the World Literature blog. And then I'll just make another announcement that has the book. link on it. Shirley Ann, did it work now? Do you have anything for me now? I'm posting the book link again in announcements, just if anybody doesn't have it. Okay, so it should be right at announcements, link to Persepolis book. Here is the full link, etc. So your homework assignment, and I'm just looking at announcements. So if you guys could join me there to just remind you of what I'm going to be grading for progress report today. The homework that I gave on the 23rd was to read the introduction in Persepolis. Answer the 2 questions in your Checkpoint 1 book journal under intro. And that's just saying the homework assignment, that was for English 3. So how many of you did this? You read the intro and you answered the 2 questions in your book journal. Write in the chat if you did it. This will be your first grade for the term. Okay, Shirley Ann, nice. Everybody else who did it, who didn't do it, just write it in the chat. Salima did not. Who else? I only got 1 requested for feedback. So it's telling me that maybe a lot of people didn't do it. Emmanuel, you did it? Okay, I just didn't see your feedback. But good job if you did do it, Emmanuel. I didn't see, I don't think you pressed request feedback. That's why I'm saying that. All right, so what we're gonna do right now, it's 9:17. We are going to, I read it, but not even gonna lie, I was so confused. I guess it's just been a while out of school. Okay. We're gonna go to the intro right now and read it all together. Then we're gonna discuss it, and the questions are pretty straightforward, the 2 questions. So then we're gonna do it together. So basically, if you are in class today and you put forward the work, you'll get a good grade on this progress report. I would like for Emmanuel and, hi Salam, I got you did request feedback, Salam. You're still using Zoom on your phone. Oh, because of the Google, okay. All right, I need to get that figured out for you today. So if you're using Zoom on your phone, Salam, then you can definitely go on Summit on your computer, right? Like you could have the phone and then just go on your computer. Okay, good. And I will get that. We'll problem solve a little bit later. I have some time today after 12:30. So I can FaceTime you again and we could try to figure it out. And I did get your feedback for the intro. So it looks like Emmanuel and Salam, as we're doing the intro, what I would like for you guys to do is, first of all, check your questions, make sure you were on the right track, right, with what you did. And also start reading part 1. This is for people who did the intro. So because we're going to read it together because I only got 2 in, and I want to make sure we're all kind of like on the same page, literally. All right, so can everybody meet me here, please? So you need to have this up, the book, and then you need to have checkpoint 1 open. So go to book journal. Persepolis book journal, do you see that? And then click on that. And if you scroll down, you will see something that says introduction. And there are 2 questions. According to this intro, what stereotypes is Satrapi trying to dispel? And the author indicates 2 motives for writing Persepolis. What are they? Okay, so as we're reading the intro, you're going to keep an eye out for those 2 questions. Would anyone like to read part of it? Salima, you can? Okay, so we have Salima reading the first part, and then Salam volunteered to read the second part. So Salima, whenever you want to stop, you can stop.
Okay, so I'm supposed to be reading right now.
Yeah.
Okay. In the second millennium BC, while the Elam nation was developing a civilization alongside Babylon, Indo-European invaders gave their name to the immense Iranian plateau where they settled. The word Iran was derived from, I'm not sure what that says,
Ariana Vejo.
Ariana Vejo, which means the origin of the
Aryans. And can I stop you there? So actually Aryan, I don't know if you've heard of that when you were studying history for like World War II. That word Aryan basically means like European white people. And that's what when Hitler came to power, that's what he wanted everyone to look like. So it's kind of interesting that Iran, which is mostly a land of Middle Eastern brown and black people, has this, that's where the name comes from. Keep going, Salima.
These people were semi-nomads whose descendants were the Medes and Persians. The Medes founded the first Iranian nation in the 7th century BC. It was later destroyed by Cyrus the Great. Cyrus the Great. He established what became one of the largest empires of the ancient world, the Persian empires. In the 6th century BC, Iran was referred to as Persia, its Greek name, until 1935, when Reza Shah, the father of the last Shah of Iran, asked everyone to call the country Iran.
And just so you know, Reza Shah, remember when we took those notes on Iran's history, he was the king that made everything very modern. So he was the one who said that women can go to school, they could dress however they want. So he changed the name to Iran. Salima, you want to keep going?
Okay. Iran was rich because of its wealth and its geographic location. It invited attacks from Alexander the Great, from its Arab neighbors to the west, from Turkish and Mongolian conquerors. Iran was often subject to foreign domination, yet the Persian language and culture withstood these invasions. The, the invaders assimilated into the strong culture, and in some ways they became Iranians themselves. In the 20th century, Iran entered a new phase. Reza Shah decided to modernize and westernize the country, but meanwhile, a fresh source of wealth was discovered. Oil, with the oil came another invasion. The West, particularly Great Britain, wielded a strong influence on the Iranian economy. During the Second World War, the British, So- Soviets, and
Soviets, like Russians.
Soviets and Americans asked Reza Shah to ally himself with against Germany.
You there, Salima? You're doing so good, but you cut out a little bit. Okay, so to just sum it up, while she gets back, in the 20th century, so that's the 1900s. So like 1901, 1902, Iran started getting really modernized. That word, like when, we talked about Iran really looking like with universities and very international, and Iran started to ally itself or become friends with the British, so like Americans, basically these like white Western societies. Um, are you back, Salima? I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you were on, so the Allies invaded. Oh, no, sorry, you were on, but Reza Shah.
But Reza Shah, who sympathized with the Germans, declared Iran a neutral zone. So the Allies invaded and occupied Iran. Reza Shah was sent into exile and was succeeded by his son, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, who was known simply as the Shah.
All right, so stop right there. So basically, all of these countries were like, please be friends with us against Hitler, right, in the World War II. And this king was like, nope, I'm going to leave Iran just neutral. It's not taking anybody's side. And so then Britain, America, and Soviets invaded Iran and what does it mean to occupy a country? It says invaded and occupied Iran. If
Made
you
it busy, like
oh, sorry, go ahead.
made it busy, like made it like I don't know, like
Kind of, yeah. Like when you occupy a place, you take it over. So you basically put all your troops. Remember how like we have in Afghanistan, like they sent all the troops to the Middle East.
mhm.
A country literally puts all of its forces in that country and says, we're going to control you now, basically. And then they sent this king into exile. They sent him away. And they said, now this new guy is going to come to power, the Shah, right? That's the new king where Persepolis starts. And this new Shah, remember, wanted Islam to be the center. So he was like, nope, like no more universities are going to be centered around Islam. Women have to start covering again, like he had his own rules. All right, so
Okay. Is this Mohammed Masadiq? Is that how you say it?
yes, Mohammad Mossadegh. He was the prime minister, so it's a little bit different than Mohammad Mossadegh. Go ahead.
In 1951, Mohammed Masadiq, then Prime Minister of Iran, nationalized the oil industry. In retaliation, Great Britain organized an embargo on all exports of oil from Iran. In 1953, the CIA, with the help of the British intelligence, organized a coup against him. Masadiq was overthrown, and the Shah, who had earlier escaped from the country, returned to power. The Shah stayed on the throne until 1979 when he fled Iran to escape the Islamic Revolution.
So I'm going to stop you right there. So the Shah who like went away, basically came back. The modern Shah, the guy who like wanted everything to be modern, he stayed on the throne until 1979. And that's when this book takes place, in 1979, when they push him out. So then he fled Iran to escape the revolution. So at this point, the leadership in Iran, when this book starts, is like all over the place. So in this next paragraph is where you're going to find most of the answers to your questions. Go ahead, Salam.
Since then, this old and great civilization has been discussed mostly in connection with fundamentalism, fanaticism, and terrorism. As an Iranian who lived more than half of my life in Iran, I know that this image is far from the truth. This is why writing Persepolis was so important to me. That's the answer, guys. I believe that an entire nation should not be judged by the wrongdoings of a few extremists. I also don't want those Iranians who lost their lives in prisons defending freedom, who died in the war against Iraq, who suffered under various repressive regimes, or who are forced to leave their families and flee their homeland to be forgotten. One can forgive, but one should never forget.
All right, thank you so much, both Salima and Salam. So why, question number 1, what stereotype is Marjane Satrapi trying to dispel or get rid of with her book? And it's in this paragraph. What is a stereotype that people have of the Middle East? Sometimes. I'm not saying everybody, but she names a few stereotypes. And a stereotype, remember, is something that that a lot of people believe, but it's very harmful, mostly offensive, and not true. Well, think about it. What is a stereotype that you've heard of the Middle East? Or, you know, and with like Islam, especially in more westernized countries.
Do I say my answer that I put?
Oh, you could say your answer, yeah, with your voice, or you could put it in the chat.
All right, I had Satrapi's stereotypical image is dispelling the invasions and attacks in Iran because of its wealth by oil exports from their nation.
Okay, so like you said, more of dispelling, say that again, that it was wealthy?
Dispelling the invasions and attacks in Iran because of its wealth by oil exports from their nation.
Okay, so got it. I'm trying to think if I would consider the wealth of oil like a stereotype. Because there was actually wealth from oil, right? Like that's not false. Hi, Miss
It
Kelsey, by
says,
the way, and Nakaya. I just saw you guys come in.
what stereotypical image is a Satrapi trying to dispel?
I'm going to put a quote here in the chat because I can't highlight this. I thought I could. Oh no, remember last time I found out we could annotate. So actually, yes. Okay, wait. Okay. So yes, Salam, I like your answer about Iran, you know, having a lot of wealth from oil, and people were invading them because of the wealth in the country. But ultimately, when this woman was in, you know, she says she lived her life in Iran, and a lot of people, I guess in her experience, heard she was from the Middle East and was like, oh, or heard she was Muslim and was like, oh, well, what about terrorism? What about fundamentalism? Does anybody know what that means? That word fundamentalism?
So the beginning word is like fun. So I'm thinking it got something to do with money. Like,
Almost, yeah. Like, well, the beginning word is fundamental. So the whole thing is fundamental. Fundamental means like simple, the basic part of it. So remember that this country was going back. It was like everything has to be centered around Islam, right? Like we're everything, the curriculum, the dress, you can't drink outside the home. So basically some people were really against that because it was the base. They were basing everything around religion. And that's really what fundamentalism is, basing everything around religion and not taking any, not bending the rules, being like, it has to be this way because, Islam says it has to be this way, and running a country like that. So she really wanted to show that her homeland of Iran was not filled with terrorists. It wasn't a place where everybody just obeyed, right? Obeyed Islam and just was like, yes, we will do whatever you say. So for number one, the stereotypes, these are things that she wanted to kind of say were not true when she wrote Persepolis. And does anybody have any lineage? I think we talked about, Islam, like people's connection to Islam, but does anybody have any connection to the Middle East at all? Whether it's like friends or family? Or I guess, what do you know about it just in your like worldview? You guys are so quiet today, except for a few peeps who were brave enough to read, to answer some questions.
what was your question?
Oh, I was just saying, oh, Isabel's trying to listen and understand. That makes sense. I was just asking, like, what was your personal connection or knowledge of the Middle East before we even read anything on it? Well, okay, we'll go through this paragraph a little bit more, because I think the next sentence also shows the stereotype, right? She says that Persepolis is so important to her because she doesn't believe that an entire nation should be judged by the wrongdoings of a few extremists. And what are extremists? When we talk about Islam and we talk about extremists, or we talk about even Christianity and talk about extremists, what does it mean to be an extremist when it comes to religion?
Like an advocate for something, like a religion.
Definitely an advocate, right? Is it usually a good connotation or a bad connotation if you're an extremist?
Excuse me.
Hi, Kanaya.
My fault. I'm sick this morning, so I'm not even engaged, but I'm listening though.
Oh, okay, perfect. And do you know what we're doing, Kanaya, by the way, with these as we're reading?
Are we just reading or are we writing down stuff?
No, so, okay, let me just go over this one more time for people who might have just joined. On checkpoint 1, where it says introduction, there are 2 questions. So as we're reading this introduction, you are answering these questions.
Okay,
Like
so
we're going through it and stopping. So the first question is about stereotypes and what the author is trying to prove wrong about Iran and what people think about it.
did y'all answer questions yet?
Yeah, so we're talking about it right now. And I'll pull this back up. This is what I highlighted. She wanted to dispel fundamentalism, fanaticism, and terrorism. And also, we're talking right now that she doesn't believe that Iran should be judged by a few extremists. Now, Salima, in the
I'll
chat,
pull a page up for questions. Like, what is it on Summit?
it's on Summit. Yes, it's under checkpoint 1, book journal. And I know some of this class has a lot of newer students to Summit. So what I'm going to do right now, and I'm sorry if this is like, just remember what we were talking about. Hold on. You just go to the blue, you go to year,
Hold on.
English 2, and then book journal. We're gonna, while you're getting there, we're gonna keep talking. Salima said that extremists are people who overdo their religion, but for their own selfish reasons. So, I agree, Salima. Especially we find this a lot with terrorists, is that they might be extreme in their view and led by someone, right? They're like part of this group, part of a little group of people that are led by, a belief that not many people are going to take it to that extreme.
All right, I'm on Summit now. I had to charge my MacBook, so.
Okay. Salima, yeah, they weaponize their views, definitely. They weaponize their views, and that is the stereotype, right? Some people think, especially in America post 9/11, there was a lot of talk about, oh, well, everybody like there were these harmful things being said about the Middle East, about Islam, but this is what those are all like very violent views and stereotypes. And there's a certain number of people who are called like, they are extreme, they weaponize their religion or their views. And so she says her entire nation shouldn't be judged by the wrongdoings of a few extremists. So like Iran is not just a few people who are gonna, do some violent things for their religion. That's not what her country is. And then also for question number 2, when she says the author indicates 2 motives for writing the book, what are the
I just wrote in the chat, so could you like answer me?
Yeah. You can find, I'm going to answer you in a minute. You can find the 2 reasons why she wrote it right in this same paragraph. So why don't you take a minute, find 2 reasons why she wrote it, and then we'll go over it. And I'm going to show you on my, if anybody else needs help getting to the checkpoint, I'm showing you right now on the screen. Sorry, I'm trying to get this highlight off. If you don't need help, you're just looking at the 2 reasons why she wrote it. So I'm going to view it as,
this is 2020 making, no.
I'm going to view it as you, Kanaya.
Oh yeah, okay, I see.
So that everybody, and I'm going to do this because I know that some people are new and people still have the same questions, right? Like you might have the question and not be saying it. So you go over here. This is how you get the book up, Kanaya. You just click on this link. And then you go over to year, English 2. It's called the World Literature Blog. click on it, then go to 1, Persepolis Book Journal, and then this box here. Do not click on anything that's red, and that goes for everybody. Don't click on any of this, go to old version. Just click on this one. And then you should have this pop up. Just scroll down, and we are right here, Kanaya, right here. Are you there yet?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. Let me just answer Miss Kelsey in the chat, 'cause she just typed me something. All right, does anybody else need help getting to this? Speak now or forever hold your peace. I think most people are, oh, go ahead.
My fault.
I've sent it to him. I'm gonna log off and try to help him now. Okay, Miss Kelsey, thank you. I don't know why it's going to lose class. Okay, so did anybody come up with the 2 motivations that this woman had to write the book from this paragraph?
Okay.
Go
So
ahead.
she wrote it because she felt like, well, there was false accusation going on about her people.
Mm-hmm. And what
So
were
that
the
was my
false
first
accusations?
answer. My first answer was false accusation. I'll let somebody else give the other.
Okay, so I'm typing it right here. So question number 2, why did Margine write this? Does anybody else want to give a second reason? False accusations against, let's just say against Muslims, because she's Muslim. Muslims and Iranians. Why else did she write the book?
She don't want certain people to be forgotten. I can't say it all because I got a lot going on right here, but she doesn't want a lot of people. She doesn't want certain people to be forgotten, like people in prisons and stuff like that.
Yeah, she doesn't want, thank you, Isabel. She doesn't want political prisoners, and we're going to see why people got put in prison in this book. People who had to leave the country because the king said, leave my country. And maybe some of you are from families. I have friends who are from families not from Iran, but from Somalia, Liberia, places where war, like civil war, forced people out and made them come to America. So who had to leave because of war. Salam says to keep in memory of those who were brave. Nice. All right, I'm seeing about 2 or 3 confusions on how to get to the checkpoint in the chat. So I'm gonna do this one more time. So if you need help, hi Shanice, by the way, I see you. If you need help getting to the checkpoint, look at your screen right now. Stop everything you're doing, look at your screen. And I'm gonna do it on Summit. So you go to Summit Learning. Okay, this is what you will see. This is how yours looks, right? This is for everybody who said they cannot get in. So make sure you are looking at your screen. All right, I put an announcement. Here's the link to the book, right? Here's the link to the book. Boom, full book. Whenever we are reading in class, you're gonna click on this link. So you have the book open on one tab. Then to get to the actual questions, you're gonna go to year. We are in English 2. Now, I think why it's confusing is because there's 2 projects It's called the World Literature Blog. I'm going to try to delete that other project. We're not doing that. So you should see this. Persepolis Book Journal. Click on that. Is everybody here? Now, do not click anything in the red. Just right here. And then scroll down. And you'll see an introduction where it says introduction. Journal entry 1, we have the veil through the water cell. There's going to be like, it's going to be split up. But right now we're just on introduction. Did everybody get that? TyQuil, perfect. Oh, and then is that Desiree in the, who just came in?
Shanice.
Hi, Shanice. Hi, Fabian. Fabian also just came in. And you guys all got here, right? Can I, yes, we are, can I just said, did we answer the question? So this was, oh Lord. This was question number 2. Why did Margine write this book? We had some answers from people. And then question number 1, what stereotypes did she want to prove wrong?
I'm talking about where it say introduction.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. What stereotypes was she trying to dispel?
I know them, but sure can't say them.
Okay, so do you want to say them?
I could say them with the best of my ability. I know they were portrayed for terrorism, and then I don't know how to say those other 2 words.
Well, okay. It just matters to me that you know what those words mean, like in your own own terms. So definitely, like, she wanted to prove that not all Middle Eastern people are associated with, terrorism, with being like so religious that you don't think of anything else.
What I'm trying to figure out is, are we writing on introduction or this page that you're writing on, we just giving you answers?
No, on your, this is, I'm just giving you, I'm like doing this to track what people are saying. But this is like notes that we're taking on questions 1 and questions 2. You're writing this on your checkpoint. So you're writing it right here.
Okay.
I'm just I'm using this to copy what people are saying so that if you need help with the questions, you can get some ideas. Okay, and then you're putting it in that question part. It's a little bit confusing because we're on the computer. Usually if we were in the building, I would give you like, piece of paper and we would be writing this down. You hand it in. But your checkpoint is basically always going to be your piece of paper where you write your answers. Okay.
Miss Christina, I got to log off. Can I join from my phone?
Yeah, you can join. You could definitely join the Zoom on your phone, Emmanuel. But for Summit, with like all the work, you need to find a way to type it. Does that make sense? Like, I think you can.
I already typed in the thing we were supposed to do. That was that you assigned.
Oh, okay. Can you press request feedback at the top? Because I didn't get it from you.
I just requested it.
Thank you, Emmanuel. But yes, you can go on your phone. Go to Zoom on your phone. All All right, so do most people have at least the intro questions kind of fleshed out and typed on your checkpoint?
I do.
Kira, all right, I'm gonna give everybody, how about 5 minutes? You wanna take 5 minutes to kind of like flesh this out on your checkpoint?
Okay. I'm on Zoom on my computer right now, and I press join the meeting. So what would be the meeting ID or the personal link name?
You don't have to, this specific meeting does not have a password or ID.
'Cause
So
I'm
it
probably doing
should
Zoom
it
on
should
my
give you
phone.
the option to like X out of that. Does it?
I'm just tired of using my phone. Like,
I know it's annoying, and I don't know why it did it on your Chromebook like that. But if you put your phone, just like put your phone maybe like on your Chromebook for today, like resting on it, you could still type. And Salam, I think you just need to add some of this to question 1.
question 1.
And also like
Just say progress report and all that. Report 1 and 2 with stereotypes. She wanted to present not all middle.
So Salam, this is just questions 1 and 2. This is what classmates said. So these are the answers that we discussed.
I got my second answer.
Perfect.
She wanted to
Who just
not all middle.
wrote me in the chat? Desiree. Okay, so people are asking, can I do this work as homework? Here is my answer to that. And I'll put the time just so you know. Progress report number 1 is due today at 3 p.m. So for all the teachers, we have to give in our grades today at 3 for this, like just for the first little chunk of time. So the answer to homework is that you can do it, but it has to be in before 3.
Yeah, so if y'all grade in the day, most of the work that y'all like gave or whatnot, but I didn't get to do a lot of it because I just started.
Okay, so make sure and I'm sure some people are in the same boat as you, make sure if you didn't do a lot of the work that was assigned, that today you try to do some of it, whether it's in your classes or whether it's like after class. And in this class, since I know there are a lot of new people in here today, that's why I'm letting you guys, I'm doing it kind of like with you to make sure we know where to put it.
Yeah, but most of my, I guess, like whatever teachers gave me assignments, they be like, I'm gonna post it up on YouTube. I don't even know how to get to his stuff, nor is they sending me any emails for me to do it. And I don't even know how to get to their lessons.
Is that, and sorry, that's you, Kanaya, speaking, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it sounds like some of the newer people maybe need the YouTube link for all of the videos. And then also how to get to the checkpoints on Summit. Which I am happy to, I will send you the YouTube link. As people are typing up their answers and fixing their checkpoints, I will send you guys the YouTube link where you could see all the classes. Desiree says, do I have to read the book before answering or just write down my thoughts? So Desiree, I think you missed this because you just came in. We just read the introduction. You see where it says introduction? It's only like 2 pages. And those 2 questions came from the introduction. Mostly this last paragraph. So what I'm going to do really quick is send everybody.
On Summit,
Huh?
You tell me how to get to their summit,
Who is that?
Shanice. And did you see
Shan-
what I said in the chat? Because you didn't say nothing
Where?
in the chat.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I please have until tomorrow to? Oh, okay, got it. But I'm off tomorrow. Okay. Shanice, yes, we can type in the chat when that is going to be done tomorrow. And if everybody can give me 1 minute, I'm going to email. I didn't realize that the new people didn't have the YouTube link. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to send it to everybody. That is not our YouTube. Give me 1 second. This is going to pop up in your email. Okay. So I'm going to email all of the students right now. I'm going to do student.
I need to start taking iron again.
Yes, here we go. Perfect. Okay, so you're going to get this in your email in 1 second.
And when you're done, can you show me how to get to the checkpoint one?
Yeah.
I'm getting my charger.
So you should be getting that in a minute. I'm going to mute whoever that is just because we could hear like your background. And then I'm going to do it one more time. If you don't know how to get to the checkpoint, watch. Summit Learning, right? Here is the book link that we're reading. Go to Year World Literature blog under English 2. Persepolis Book Journal. Right here. Click it. All right, good. You have the first one, but not the second yet. And it should look like this, Shanice.
That box don't have to be filled out.
No, you can erase. This was more if we were in the building. This is what you would be doing to track what page you're on. But we're going to do it all together. Like you're going to have, I already grouped out the chapters.
Okay.
So you don't have to do the box. That was just like a schedule. Okay. So originally my plan for today, I wanted to start the actual book and start with The Veil, the first chapter called The Veil. And you'll look and it says journal entry 1, and there's like 7 questions for the first section. It's 10:05 right now. So I actually think we could start the first part of the book and get through maybe half of it in the next 15 minutes. Do people still need another minute or two to finish their 2 questions?
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out where this go. Like, I see the numbers, but I'm trying.
Did you follow this part? You went to year.
Yeah, I took a picture of what you had up on the screen on my phone. I'm trying to figure out where it go.
Oh, it might look different on the phone.
No, I'm not doing it on my phone. I took a picture of what you had up on my phone.
Okay. Got it. So we're going to go, as you're kind of doing that, we're going to scroll down on the actual book. You'll see it just has a title page. And then it says The Veil, and you'll see some pictures. I think that the easiest way to have both the book, yeah, if you press the top here, if you press here, you should be able to do half screen book, half screen book journal. And I think you can do this. If you get the book journal up, you could drag this like this. So look how I have like 2. I have the book here, and then I actually have the journal here. And if I scroll down, I could go to The Veil and then go to The Veil here. You don't have to do it like this, but sometimes it's easier to actually see to keep track of what's going on both. And how I did that, I just dragged a tab out. So I held on to the tab and then I dragged it to the right. And I'm just updating the attendance. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start. The questions in your journal, some of them are like what we call right there questions, right? Like the first one is a right there question. When does the novel begin? Obviously, it's gonna be right there. Some of them are a kind of an inference question. So you're going to have to think a little bit more and infer from the text. And some of them are more of like a literary question where there's going to be like some literary terms like symbology and imagery and things like that. So there are different types of questions in your journal. All right, let's look at, is everybody at least on The Veil? You could see these pictures on your screen.
I'm there, Miss Christina.
Okay, awesome. Anybody else?
I'm here also.
Here also. And even if for some reason one day you cannot get the book up, I will always have it on the screen. So that's a way. Okay. And just a reminder that this is the author. So this is based on Marjane Satrapi's life when she was a little girl or a teenager, I guess. So we're going to start. This is me when I was 10 years old. This was in 1980. And this is a class photo. I'm sitting on the far left so you don't see me. From left to right, Golnaz, Mashid, Nareen, and Minna. In 1979, a revolution took place. It was later called the Islamic Revolution. So we have like these angry people, right? Then came 1980, the year it became obligatory to wear the veil at school. Wear this. So when does the novel begin?
1980.
1980, a year after the what?
Revolution.
Yeah, a year after the Islamic Revolution, or like, I guess it's still kind of happening in 1980, but it takes place in 1980, I would say during the Islamic Revolution. So it became, they had to wear a veil at school. So they had to cover even at public school. We didn't really like to wear the veil, especially since we didn't understand why we had to. It's too hot out. Execution in the name of freedom. Ooh, I'm a monster of the darkness. Give me my veil back. You'll have to lick my feet. Giddy up. And also, because the year before, in 1979, we were in a French non-religious school where boys and girls were together. And then suddenly in 1980, oh crap, sorry. This is the Shah, right? The guy who we read about. All bilingual schools must be closed down. They are symbols of capitalism. Bravo, what wisdom of decadence. This is called a cultural revolution. We found ourselves veiled and separated from our friends. And that was that. So, number 3, in what ways does the children's response to the veil reflect a universal truth about society? So what was their response to the veil? Of having to wear, like, of being forced to wear it now.
They didn't like it because they didn't understand why they had to wear it.
Yeah, they didn't like it. They didn't understand, right? It was different from what they knew. And how do you think that reflected the society around them?
But we answering these, right?
Yes. So we're talking about number 3. So they definitely didn't like it. It was new and different. And you could only imagine that these are 10-year-old girls, like their families probably felt the same way, right? And it wasn't just about veil. We talked about women, boys and girls were separated everywhere. So like you couldn't really be with a friend who was a boy in school, on the street, anything like that. Because the Shah said, okay, bilingual schools, like if you went to a French school, if you went to a European school, they all needed to be closed down. And that could be an answer also to number 2 outcomes of the Islamic Revolution. They had to wear veils, schools were shut down. Why do you think that that this Shah would shut down like private schools? Why was that a threat to him? That you could go ahead. Sorry.
Okay.
So like, so his rules could be like pushed through. Like
Yeah, if you didn't go to one of his schools, his rules couldn't be pushed. If you went to like a
Number 3. I'm confused.
What's up? Sorry.
Are we on number 2 or number 3?
Well, number 2, what are the 2 outcomes of the Islamic Revolution? One was that boys and girls were separated in schools. Schools were shut down. It was mandatory to cover, right? And then number 3, we did answer that before, that the students didn't like the veil. It represented change, difference, right? So at this point, we've kind of talked about 1, 2, and 3. And I'll give you guys a second to, oh, is that Amira? Hi, Amira. I didn't see you
Hey,
come in. Amira, we are on checkpoint 1. We're starting the book. We're on the part called The Veil.
I don't have that. The only thing that I have on English is them journal boxes.
Scroll down. Is there something underneath the boxes?
Let me check because I don't have a computer.
Okay, got it. If you scroll down on your phone, you should be able to see that there's like a journal down there.
I can't access it on my phone. I can't go on something on my phone.
Okay. Did your computer break?
No, I don't have a computer at all.
Okay.
I'm using one of my nieces and nephew's computer. Gotta give me a second. I have to log on.
Okay, I just want to let everybody know, anybody who's having computer problems, yes, Philly actually has some at the school. So Amira, if you need a new computer, we could probably get you, if you just go down to Yes Philly, we could probably just get one for you if you're able to do that. We could talk later, but that's an option. Okay, number 4, how was education affected by this new regime? I think somebody said it before where all the private schools were closed down because they wouldn't push the Shah's rule, right? Like they could have their own rules, and that was seen as a threat.
Come on, hey, finish drinking your juice so you can go upstairs, bro. I'm in class 2 to be your computer loud.
Okay, so we're gonna keep going. Everywhere in the streets, there were demonstrations for and against the veil. So the veil, the veil, the veil, freedom, freedom, freedom. At one of the demonstrations or protests, right, a German journalist took a photo of my mother. I was really proud of her. Her photos were published in all the European newspapers. So that's her mom. And even in one magazine in Iran, my mother was really scared. Have you seen this? Don't worry, darling. Why would she be scared?
Because she was a woman standing up for, and
Yeah.
it wasn't back then. Woman was supposed to basically sit in the back.
Yeah, especially with this new rule, right? And also she's not wearing a veil in the picture. She looks really like modern, like just, regular. So she dyed her hair and wore dark glasses for a very long time. I really didn't know what to think about the veil. Deep down, I was very religious, but as a family, we were very modern and avant-garde. So you see she has like half veil, half not. I was born with religion. At the age of 6, I was already sure I was the last prophet. This was a few years before the revolution. Oh, celestial light. So she thought she was a prophet, right? Before me, there had been a few others. I am the last prophet. A woman? I wanted to be a prophet because our maid did not eat with us, because my father had a Cadillac, and above all, because my grandmother's knees always ached. Come here, Margie, help me to stand up. Don't worry, soon you won't have any pain. You'll see. Like all my predecessors, I had my holy book. The first 3 rules came from Zarathustra. He was the first prophet in my country before the Arab invasion. You must base everything on 3 rules. Behave
We
well,
answered the 4th question. Sorry to interrupt.
well, and act well.
We answered the 4th question.
No, we didn't go
We
back to the
answered.
question. We didn't go back to the questions. I was just trying to like go on a little bit in the chapter. But
Mhm.
since we only have like 1 more minute left, we're going to stop right here. We stopped at 4. 5, what did the veil symbolize? 6, what did bilingual schools symbolize to the new regime? And 7, did women have a universal response to the veil?
Can I
And
get
those
the answers
questions
from
are
what is
all
for?
in.
Sorry, one person?
Okay, are those all those questions in this little thing that we're reading? Because if it is, then we can finish it ourselves, right?
Well, I think 5 through 7 you can probably already answer. So what did the veil, ooh. Oh, because I'm on yours. I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
We already said bilingual schools symbolized like a threat, right? There was a threat that they would be more modern, they would teach another language, they would teach
And you said for which one again? I'm sorry.
for number 6.
Okay.
And did women have like just one response to the veil? Or were there a lot of different responses? That's for number
Yeah,
7.
somebody just send me the answers, because at this point,
Because you came a little late. Yeah, well, Amir, don't worry. For the first progress report, by the way, the grade is mostly going to be for the intro questions, and then participation
what intro questions?
right here. See where it says introduction, and there's
I
2
couldn't
questions there.
do that. I couldn't do that. I didn't have a laptop. I keep telling you that I don't have a laptop.
Right.
So
So
I can't do my work on my phone because Summit don't work on the phone. So I don't have no laptop. And all y'all know that. So how am I supposed to do my work if I don't have a laptop?
okay, so we have to get you a laptop. That's the problem we have to
I have a
solve.
laptop. My laptop is just broke. It's not coming on.
Right. You can exchange it with us at Yes. Like you could go to school and exchange it, and I will email Gary and I'll put you on the email for like a swap. For right now though, are you able to look at the book? Also, I'm going to let everybody go. Amir, you stay here. I'm going to let everybody go though. Make sure that before Thursday.
I need you to answer some questions for me real quick, so I'm staying too.
Who is that?
Denise.
Okay. Everybody else can go before Thursday. Just make sure that you have something down for the rest of the veil. You could read through it. You can we've already talked about most of the symbology, so you could come up with your own answers for that. And then Thursday we'll discuss it when we come back together. All right, so you may go. If you have any work to turn in to me, make sure you're pressing request feedback at the top.
Okay, and that's how we would turn in all our assignments, just pressing request feedback.
Request feedback, and then I'll, whenever I grade it, I will give it back to you, and then you'll like be able to see it.
Okay.
Okay. All right, have a good rest of the day. All right, Amira, so
Miss,
yes.
where I find the introduction questions?
It's on checkpoint 1 on English 2, Fabian. Do you see that where it says book journal?
Hello. I don't see it. Hello.
Go to year, the World Literature blog, checkpoint 1. All right, Amira, what are your other questions? So for the intro, you're saying you can't get to it.
Because I don't have a computer.
Right. Okay. So I'm emailing you the 2 questions and the link to the book. Let me just do this. And then Shanice, can you ask me the question as I'm doing this?
The questions that you had up in the beginning, not at the beginning of the class, it say, what stereotypes about the Middle East was he trying to prove wrong? Where do I put those?
Where do you put them?
Yeah, cause this on my screen it say
Do you see this on your screen?
Huh?
It's for
No.
question number 1, so right after the question mark.
Yeah, but this a question too. It say that's what they say? What stereotypes? Okay.
Yeah, what stereotypical image is she trying to dispel? Is she trying to get rid of?
Okay, I got it.
So like what stereotype is she operating on? And we talked about what certain stereotypes she thinks people have about the Middle East. All right, so Amir, this is going to you. And then I also have a meeting at 10:30, so I actually have to leave very soon.
Or for the second one, where it say the author indicates to motives to writing, the book.
Mm-hmm.
How do I answer that? Can you go back to your little checkpoint? Or because I'll just be taking pictures and not do it on my own.
When this all due?
Oh, Miss, you go back?
What?
You go back, please.
Yeah, the Fabian, the 2 intro questions are due by 3 p.m. today.
Okay. And can you repeat where I find that at?
Go to year. Go to English 2.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry. Can I hear?
Oh, I got it. Thank you.
English 2.
And then see where it says the World Literature Blog.
I
Click
clicked
that. And then checkpoint 1.
Checkpoint 1. Hold on.
Persepolis Book Journal.
And
then right here, not the red, the one underneath it.
Wait, hold on.
And then scroll down. And it says introduction.
All right, I'm right there, but where I find it at?
Like the book, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, the book is here. So that's the checkpoint. And then to get to the actual book, it's under announcements. So when you go into Summit, go to summitlearning.org and you click this loudspeaker. You see that loudspeaker, Fabian?
Hold on.
And I'm going to have to cut you off in like 2 minutes because I have a meeting with this.
Yeah, I found it. And it's the first one, right?
Yeah, you see there's like a link.
Yeah.
Wait, Miss Christina, before you go, for
Mhm.
on the questions, the veil is number 1, 1980.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
And
No
then
problem.
the introduction questions due today, right?
Yes. So make sure you press request feedback so that I get it from your side.
All right.
All right. Everybody's doing a great job. Let's keep this same energy up as we go through the week. Okay. All right. So I hope you guys have a good day. And also, if you have any questions, I will be open for office hours from 1
Wait,
to 3.
excuse me. One more question before you leave. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All right. So I didn't answer 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I just answered 4, 5, 6, and 7. And the second question where it say the author indicates and I can push request feedback, or do I have more to do? That's it.
No, that's it. That will be it. Just for before third. And on Thursday, we'll be able to get more into the actual book. So all that I'm going to be grading are those intro questions. For
Okay,
this
so
progress
I
report.
shouldn't be afraid right now, like about grades, if I just started. Like,
Yeah, just start it to the most you can do from what we've already discussed.
okay.
Okay. You're doing fine. Okay. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Thank you.